Trump did it again. He called Canada the 51st state. And next week, our Prime Minister, Mark Carney, is walking straight into the White House to see him. This isn't a photo op, buddy. This is a test of Canada's sovereignty, our wallet, and our nerve. Here's the setup. Carney flies to Washington on Monday. Meet Trump in the Oval Office Tuesday. On paper, it's about trade, the 2026 USMCA review that decides how 75% of our exports enter the US. But Trump just tied it to missile defense and called us the 51st state again. Stick around, because by the end, you will see why this meeting could redraw Canada's entire deal with the US. And what happens if Carney walks out empty-handed? This isn't just a handshake. It's prep for the first joint review of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, the USMCA. Both countries launched consultations last month to set the table. Carney is bringing his trade minister, foreign minister, and industry minister, because this trip is about locking in access to the US market before Trump starts charging tolls for it. Remember, Carney already gave ground. He scraped retaliatory tariffs to match US exemptions. It was a peace offering before the storm. Now, Trump smells blood in the water. Then, Trump adds a curveball, his new Golden Dome missile defense program. He says Canada called asking to be covered by it. His response? Why don't you just join our country? You'll get it for free. Sure, that's not a slip. That's how Trump negotiates. Humiliate first, deal later. He's been flirting with this 51st state talk for months, using it like a crowbar to pry open tariff concessions. Carney actually asked him last May to stop calling Canada that. And now he's doubling down on camera. It's like he can't help himself. Missile defense 1 minute, colonial joke the next. Before we go any further, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Subscribing to my channel is not gonna cost you anything, but it does help me big time. Thank you. Now back to our topic. Here is the math. Over $3.6 billion in goods cross the border every single day. That's 36 US states where we are the top export destination. And that's why Trump plays hardball, because he can. Canada supplies 60% of US crude imports, 85% of their electricity imports, and most of the uranium their reactors run on. Yes, we are the ones dodging tariffs. Those 232 tariffs on steel and aluminum are not small stuff. They are crushing jobs from Hamilton to Montreal. Energy Minister Tim Hodgson calls them unfair and unjust. He's right, but unless Carney can get Trump to blink, they stay. Carney is in a bind. He won the election by standing up to Trump. That's how he rode the anti-annexation wave. Now, he's trying to look cooperative without getting rolled. If he comes home with no progress, no tariff relief, no trade headway, the conservatives will hammer him for caving to Washington. Political scientists like Danielle Beland are already warning that Trump could publicly embarrass Carney during this visit. That's his move. Corner the guest, claim victory on TV. It's extortion by spotlight. So Carney's gamble is simple. Keep the relationship alive long enough to reach the 2026 review without becoming Trump's punchline. Now, let's talk missiles, because that's the real power play. Trump's Golden Dome is his dream of a North American missile shield. Think NORAD on steroids, satellites, interceptors, lasers, the whole shebang. Canada wants in because our Arctic is exposed and our NORAD radars are older than most of the airmen watching them. But buying in means buying American, Lockheed radars, Raytheon launch systems, U.S. contracts. The Pentagon already count 34 critical minerals from Canada as essential to national security. So when Trump says, join us or pay up, that's not a joke. It's a price tag. For Carney, that's the trap. Say no, and Canada looks defenseless. Say yes, and we are renting our sovereignty from Washington. Pete Hoekstra, the U.S. ambassador, says he is frustrated by anti-American sentiments in Canada. No kidding. You slap tariffs on our steel and mock our flag, and people get grumpy. Travel south has plummeted. Families who used to shop in Buffalo or Seattle now spend in Toronto or Vancouver instead. The relationship feels colder than a Yukon winter. And that's what's at stake in this trip. Not just policy papers and tariff lines, but trust between neighbors who share the longest undefended border on Earth. Here is the twist the White House does not want to say out loud. The U.S. needs us more than we think. We power their grid, fuel their cars, and supply the critical minerals that make their missile defense possible. Without Canadian uranium and nickel, that Golden Dome is just a gold-plated idea. So when Trump says, join us, maybe Carney should smile and say, we already protect you. You just haven't paid your bill yet. Because for once, Canada has the leverage, energy, minerals, and the moral high ground. So what should Carney do when Trump inevitably drops the 51st state line again? Walk out or make a point? Or stay and try to protect our trade deal until 2026? Drop your take below, because this isn't just a diplomatic visit. It's a stress test for Canada's sovereignty in the Trump era. And if you thought the tariff fight was ugly, wait till you see what happens when missile defense money enters the chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.